Speaking of the dearly departed, it's time for this week's E-Memoriam.
Yes, the E-Memoriam, brought to you by us. Until we find a sponsor. If you haven't ever heard the E-Memoriam, it's a lot like the Oscars in Memoriam. It's a once-a-week send-off to people we lost. But instead of Hollywood legends, it's usually internet trolls, people who emailed us for no reason, or just a hot-button topic that we dared to have an opinion that might be different than yours about. So it's a heartfelt, satirical farewell to those we lost. And sometimes it's our own selves, guys. Mm-hmm. No one's immune from the E-Memoriam. So let's get started. This week, first up, groomers.
What?
No, not that kind of groomer. Today we bury the absurd idea that weddings are not entirely about the bride. That came up this week, and as much as I like to get on board and support my friend Learn, could not rubber stamp this concept earlier in the week when we said that weddings were also for grooms. Nope, they're not. Weddings belong to brides, full stop. Folks, there has never been a groom who threw a tantrum because his boutonniere didn't match the napkin rings. Hasn't happened, won't happen. You think he's weighing in on linen colors or whether the theme is rustic garden or Depression-era champagne party? Hell no.
And by the way, when somebody says full stop after a sentence, you can't argue after
then it's over.
He said full stop.
Thank you.
Dang it.
He said full stop, so I'm sorry.
I'm not talking. I know the rules.
But you talked. There is no here comes the groom. Nobody stands up when the groom walks in. No one's ever whispered, wow, look at him. He really fills out that rented suit. There are 0 tear-filled episodes of Say Yes to the Vest or Groomzilla airing on TLC, and nobody sends out invitations to a groomal shower. And if they did, no one would go because it sounds creepy as hell.
Say yes to the vest. Nice.
Thank you.
Get it going.
Thank you. I was proud of that. Even the names of the roles are lopsided. Bride sounds great. Bride sounds bright, like a warm, shining light, an angel, or a beacon of love in the sky, whereas groom is such an ugly word. It sounds like a troll who lives under a bridge.
I am groom.
I am Groom, son of Grot. You must solve my riddle if you wish to pass, but if you fail, I get your firstborn child as penance.
No thanks. The wedding is a monumental day for the groom, but it isn't his day. It's not even his week. The man is a glorified extra in a $30,000 Hallmark movie starring the bride, directed by the mother-in-law, and produced by the wedding planner. The groom has about as much power at his own wedding as the valet guy outside the venue, and that's why they're dressed the same. He's the human equivalent of the terms and conditions sections of the wedding agreement. Yes, technically, you have to check that box to proceed, but nobody's actually looking at it. The groom could be swapped out mid-ceremony with the waiter who wandered up front, and most guests would not notice, and the ones who did still wouldn't leave. And don't even get me started about the reception entrances. No man has ever in the history of matrimony said, babe, you know what would make my day perfect? If me and my groomsmen did a fully choreographed flash mob to Abba's Dancing Queen while your sorority sisters threw glitter in the air. That would be freaking tight. The only part of a wedding that was clearly negotiated by a man was the part where we peel off a piece of your undies and throw it at our friends because we think it's funny, and they all scatter like a grenade being lobbed into a base camp until one brave soldier falls on it for the good of the platoon.
That's so true.
If he's lucky, maybe he picks the socks for his groomsmen. Maybe. And even then, there's a conversation about whether we really need to wear Ninja Turtle socks on our wedding day. Am I right? Come on, boys. Grooms want one thing: for you not to back out so we get to marry our dream girl. That's it. Everything we do is in service of that directive. No one is saying the groom should be lazy, unhelpful, or disconnected from the process.
Some people are saying it.
He should come to the table with ideas and the total understanding that the majority of those ideas will be vetoed. Be creative and loving and help, and realize that it's almost always in service of her vision and your ideas are dumb. Here comes the groom. Bye-bye. Next up, do it, bitch.
Oh, boy.
We may never play Do It, Bitch again. After this week, the game may have went more off the rails. I believe it was the first ever 1-hour game played on radio.
Yeah.
We got through 2 commercial breaks and several arguments, a few tears, and we may never play the game Do It, Bitch again, so it was good while it lasted.
A compound fracture.
Yes, it was bad.
Well, we had to fight for our lives.
It was bad.
Finally got my neck brace off today.
It was bad.
Proud of you still.
It was bad. Sorry you got hurt. Bye-bye. Next up, cool teachers. We had a story about a principal who threw a party and got fired, and we hear these stories all the time. So today we'd like to officially say goodbye to every cool teacher who thought hosting a party for their students outside school hours wouldn't end in an ethics investigation and your dumbass face on the local news. Stop doing it! Look, Mr. Thompson, you're not one of the gang, okay? You're a 47-year-old who drives an 07 Jetta and says things like lit 2 years too late. Kids don't want to hang with you. They want to take your picture on Snapchat and get you fired in 4K.
Hey, but what if I buy them booze?
No!
Oh.
You won't be remembered as the chill teacher who let them call him by the first name. You're remembered as the guy who bought Malibu rum for sophomores and got escorted out of a board meeting by your union rep. Bye-bye. Next up in a conversation about hot wives, we somehow upset both sides of the aisle.
Everyone was
That's how you know you're in a good one. That's how you know you have struck a nerve. Pro hot wifers. We got to say goodbye to the pro hot wifers today who emailed us. We say farewell to the boundaries, exclusivity, and the last shred of self-respect some of y'all had before signing up for the deluxe Hot Wife Cuck Starter Pack. If you think hot wifing is progressive, I got news for you. It's not modern love. It's a bunghole Airbnb. She's renting out her poop chute that you used to call home, and you're outside waving politely from the driveway with a juice box and a forced smile. For those of you that don't know, hot wifing is when a husband lovingly encourages his wife to be shared like an artisanal charcuterie board at a swingers potluck. It's open marriage with marketing. It's cuckolding, but rebranded for dudes who drive Teslas and take magnesium before they go to bed at night.
Right on.
So let's stop pretending it's empowering. It's not polyamory. It's third-party cardio with live audience humiliation. It's Peloton for your wife's hoo-ha. And while your wife's getting her back blown out by a CrossFit instructor named Blade, you're on Reddit asking if it's normal to cry during foreplay when you're not involved. Bro, she ain't exploring her freedom. She's speedrunning side dong quests while you hold her purse. So RIP to monogamy, personal dignity, and the idea that love doesn't have to come without a guest list. Hot wifing, because nothing says strong marriage like being the third wheel in your own bedroom. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Different than cuckolding, just so
So
you
we're
know.
clear.
And next up, anti-hot wifers.
Oh.
Okay.
Today we will also say goodbye to you basic, boring, missionary position monogamy hoes. The kind of relationship where spicing things up means maybe we'll take our socks off first. Because new age is here, my friends, and it's the age of the hot wife. And if that makes you uncomfortable, well, maybe you're just not cool enough to handle it. Hot wifing ain't weird. It's not freaky. It's elevated love. It's what happens when emotional security, open communication, and a little light cuckolding come together to form a sex-positive Voltron, baby, and I want to be in that little cat parade. If your relationship can't survive your wife getting taken to Pound Town by a man named Dante with the tribal tattoo and a Bluetooth earpiece, are you even in love? People say, oh, I could never do that. Okay, Sharon. Well, enjoy your sad little once-a-month maintenance sex while Chad and Cassidy over here are living their truth with the UPS driver.
Oh, wow.
And for those who say, I could never let my wife do that, guess what, brah? She probably already has. You just weren't invited. So RIP to your emotional immaturity, jealousy, and whatever idea you had about ownership in a relationship. The rest of us will be over here cheering on our wives like proud little bench warmers at a very naked pep rally. Hot wifing ain't weird. It's just advanced. Catch up, you damn prudes. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You can't hot wife without me.
Yeah. It's not hot wifing if I'm not there. Good point. Next up, Poseidon's kiss.
Oh, no.
Yesterday, Riz found out about a little thing called Poseidon's kiss when the backslash of the toilet reaches up and touches you in places you don't want to be touched. Yesterday, we laid to rest the illusion that using a public toilet could be safe, sterile, or at the very least a one-way experience, because somewhere beneath that porcelain throne lies a dark, ancient force, and its name is Poseidon's kiss. The wet, unwanted, unsanitary hello from the deep that slaps you directly on your starfish and leaves you questioning every decision that led to this moment. We've all felt it. That cold, haunting moment when the water hits back. Poseidon's kiss is unholy reverse baptism delivered by a toilet bowl possessed by Neptune himself. Your butthole is vulnerable and hidden from God. Then it sees Poseidon, and neither offers mercy. And it always happens when you're at your lowest. Public restroom, questionable lighting, pants around ankles, knees wobbling like a baby deer. You weren't ready. You're never ready. You sit down, vulnerable, exposed, hoping for peace, and instead you're greeted with a soggy slap from the ocean's pervert. It's the sea god himself, leaned up through the pipes and whispering, "You dare disturb my realm," before flicking your taint with the bacterial tidal wave.
What?
And let's not pretend it's gender neutral. Oh no, men lose their entire sack to the tide.
Whoa, really?
1 second you're hovering over porcelain, the next you're reenacting Titanic with your testicles. But you, sir, are no king of this world. And to women, ooh, poor women, your poor innocent souls. Poseidon goes for your pearl and your oyster.
Oh, my.
And that burn you feel isn't Tabasco sauce.
Like your dump sack isn't gross?
Oh, Poseidon flicks your bean with the hatred of bacteria.
Wow.
So I heard Scott laugh inside the booth without the mic on. That made me feel good.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Farley joins us.
What's up, dude?
Parsley.
I apologize for what you're about to hear, sir.
Welcome back.
Well, we were just talking about Poseidon's kiss. Do you know what that is?
What is that?
When the toilet water backsplashes up and kisses you right on the rump.
That's the old
Wow, that's what you guys are talking about?
the splashback.
It's called Poseidon's kiss.
That's a great name for it.
Yes.
But, poor Poseidon to kiss that. I mean, whoa. What's he into, man? What a weirdo.
Everything.
He's into everything.
He's into
yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I didn't know Poseidon was like that.
Oh, he's a perv.
Right.
And
The
once,
Greeks.
once Poseidon kisses your Kraken, there's no going back, Kevin Farley.
There used to be a movie called The Poseidon Adventure. That's what it's
Yeah,
really
this is
about.
different.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's an adventure. You walk out of that stall a changed person, Kevin Farley, moist, broken, and spiritually waterboarded by the sea god's vengeance. Your cheeks may stay dry, but your trauma never fades. Bye-bye. Welcome to the Riz Show, Kevin Farley.
That's fantastic. Is that Poseidon?
That was Poseidon. No,
Yeah.
that's not me. That's Poseidon.
Rafe was channeling Poseidon.
No
He
kidding.
lives within me.
That's fantastic.
And finally, the last item on our docket today.
Oh, by the way, we're doing our E-Memoriam.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
the people we
Yes, sir.
lost, this week.
it's like the Oscars in Memoriam, just people we say goodbye to that we've
Yeah.
angered over the week.
Oh, yeah.
And our final goodbye, while we're on the subject of your testicles being kissed by people you don't want to be kissed and being
toilet
taken
mermaid.
granted of, testicular legislation. Today we gather to mourn the tragic loss of common sense, freedom of expression, and plastic genitalia in the great state of Idaho. All wiped off the face of the earth by the recent passing of a law that bans the display of novelty truck nuts. Not in my country. And for some reason, also fake boobies. Because apparently Idaho has decided the greatest threat to public decency is not poverty or crime or addiction. It's knockers and nuts hanging from trailer hitches. Come on!
Wow.
That is America. And it begs the question, just how many swinging fake scrotums and rogue bare chests are out there terrorizing Idaho's highways and byways that it required legislation? Is there an epidemic of free-range boobies disrupting tractor parades? I always assumed truck nuts were grown in the potato fields as part of some sort of weird crop rotation you guys were doing. Was there a testicle and testicle crisis happening in the gem state that nobody knew about? Were people unable to grocery shop without being visually assaulted by dangling glow-in-the-dark tea bags and diamond-cutting nips? I think not. Is Boise just a Mardi Gras parade of truck balls and tatas? And while potholes swallow half the state and teachers are working 2 jobs to make ends meet, your elected officials took time out of their busy schedules to criminalize chrome testicles like that's not the most goddamn American thing ever made. They've effectively declared war on freedom. Freedom to express yourself through universal language of hanging plastic body parts. And guys, I did a deep dive on this. I actually found the political ad of the senator who brought this to the Senate floor.
You did?
I did. And I sent it to Riz. I'd like to play that for
All
you
right,
now.
this is Senator Trucknuts.
This election season, one man is standing strong to protect Idaho's families from the greatest threat of our time, plastic genitalia. Order in the court. Senator Harrison Beanbag knows what matters. While other politicians waste time on things like health care, education, and crumbling infrastructure, Senator Beanbag is laser focused on what's really plaguing our streets. Silverados dragging their lifelike truck nuts across the noses of America and Idaho's citizens.
Mommy, what were those big, gross, round things?
Oh, whoa. Thanks to Senator Beanbag's bold leadership, Idaho families can finally drive to church without the fear of seeing a pair of chrome huevos swinging in the breeze. Vote Harry Beanbag. Because in Idaho, we don't fix problems. We clip nuts. Paid for by Citizens for Beanbag and a ball-free Idaho.
Wow, so American.
It is so American.
He almost swayed me there.
Hey, nothing more American than a pair of truck nuts swinging off at F-250.
Hey, that's a good point. May we all aspire to live in a world so problem-free. The novelty nuts and the occasional boob are the biggest crisis on the docket. Bye-bye. And now on to real RIPs. We lost Val Kilmer this week. Some accused us of being responsible for that, more me than anybody. That hurts. That's the one that stings. Love the man. Love, great actor, great character actor.
Well, apparently, Kevin, there's a thing going around that when we mention somebody on the show, they die
Oh, that's nice.
within days.
Oh, well, I got to get going. Nice to see it. Nice to see it.
And the second person I've allegedly killed, the Twisted Tea guy.
Oh,
The guy who hit the racist guy in the face with Twisted Tea, one of the stars of TikTok, passed away at 35. So R.I.P. Val, R.I.P. Twisted Tea guy. And that concludes this week's E-Memoriam, and we welcome Kevin Farley.
Hey, Kevin Farley.
wow, yeah. What a, it's hard to follow that, you know? I mean, geez.